people which are new to this AMA, just keep in mind we are recording everything. We are uploading it to YouTube later on. If you happen to have a question, just feel free to ask. Any question. If you do not want to talk, just drop your question in the chat. Still have some questions from people from the DMs actually. We will go over them later. This wasn't. If you happen to write a question in the chat, please tag me in there so I can actually see the question itself. Okay, then I would say, as usual, because we only have 1 hour today, I would go over the fundamentals of our token, talking about the goals we want to achieve with it, what we are doing to achieve our actual goals, and then, yeah, if you happen to have any questions, just ask me or drop them in the chat. So, BankersDream in a nutshell. I will quickly go over the main points of our token so far. A very important point is the tax, because a few minutes ago I saw someone writing in the chat that we should drop or lower the tax to get volume in. I will show you why the tax is very, very important for our actual token. So, the tax distribution. We do have 8% in reflections. The reflections are happening in BUSD, stable token. You are free to do whatever you want with the BUSD you receive. This is the first step to create passive income. It's a classic reward token we have here with BankersDream. So the tax itself, we do have 15% overall for buy. We have 15% for sell tax. We do have a flat tax. So it's the same for buy and sells. 8% of the 15 will get distributed for the distribution process itself. Just a pretty quick overview so people can understand how the actual contract works. The contract is collecting the tax until a certain threshold. The threshold right now is at 400 billion tokens. We will adjust the threshold with a increasing market cap, so we do not run into very, very big sell-offs of our contract itself. Once the threshold is reached, the first sell appearing will trigger the contract. So you will most likely see 4 cells at the same time from the same wallet. The wallet it's showing will be actually the wallet which triggered the whole contract itself. So it could be any wallet basically showing up in, for example, Dextools. Once this sell happened, the contract will start to distribute the BUSD rewards. You do not have to actively do anything for it. It is an automated process. With every transaction happening, around 4 to 8 holders are actually receiving the BUSD rewards. You can claim them manually if you really, really want to through our dashboard. I would advise you not to do so because you would have to pay the gas fees yourself. We have 4% overall allocated into marketing and into our fund. We have 2% used for buyback and burns. This buyback and burn is manual. It's not automated. So we do have full control over it, of course, because I see this happening a lot in other projects. It will happen at some point. We won't do it if anyone asks for it for a actual buyback. And of course, we will not announce any buyback in the future, just to avoid the whole swing trading and all this. 1% is added into liquidity also automatically. This is a very important part because you need to have the right balance for liquidity. With our liquidity, it is looking okay. but still we should add more into it over the time. So this is a very important part of the text itself. For our token, um, we do want to create a passive income ecosystem generator. The first step was the token itself. So with the BUSD rewards, there is just one problem with the BUSD rewards themselves. So you do need trade volume. Yeah, they are fully dependent on trade volume. The whole reward system is dependent on the 24 hours trade volume. So the more trade volume we are able to generate, the more BUSD rewards all holders will receive. But this is also a problem. Yeah, this is not sustainable in a very long-term side, only to rely on the BUSD rewards. It's a very nice addition, of course, especially if the volume is pretty high and you have a very volatile token or a very volatile time. Let's keep it this way. But yes, we needed to find a way to be independent of the whole trade volume. So what we came up with, especially working together with the early community, was our Bankers Whale Fund. This is our main utility. I will go into detail with this later. This is our first addition to the whole ecosystem itself. And yeah, this will be a utility which provides passive income in the future, completely independent of our token, yeah, independent of the trade volume and also independent of the actual market cap of our token. So the first step to generate a sustainable source of income in the long run. So with this said, I would jump right into the fund itself, Bankers Whale. Just as a little background, knowledge for the people which are new. Um, we are a team, or the founders team are actually 4 people. We are all based in Germany. We are consisting of 2 trained bankers working as financial advisors. We have an insurance agent on the team and also a software developer. Um, for the whole doxing part, because we receive this question a lot, why are you not doxed? We do not have a problem with doxing. There is just one problem with the whole doxing part. We are still working in finance in Germany. So it could lead to problems if we dox publicly. We do not have a problem with it. We did already dox privately to some people. Of course, we do need to dox for, I would say, for example, agencies or future partnerships, just to keep everyone safe. Once we are able to, at least 1 or 2 persons in the near future, sustain this as a living and do this as a living, of course, we would love to. This is the dream we have. But of course, just keep in mind we do all have families we have to feed. We do need to pay rent. We do need to pay for our house. So once we are able to sustain it out of the passive income we receive, we will definitely do it, and then we will definitely dox. Yeah, no problem about this one. So for the fund itself, very unique team in the whole crypto space, but also a team with big financial knowledge. So we are able to actually pull this one off together with the community. So we do need a community for this whole token. That's why we are working also very, very close with the community itself. The actual strategy. Now, the actual strategy is pretty straightforward. So we do have a tax collected in the marketing wallet. Parts of this tax are used for fund investments. The way we choose our fund investments are, it's a longer process, especially with adding new investments into the fund itself. So we as a team, we are vetting the projects, we are taking a look at the team running the projects, we are taking a look at the project itself. We do analyze the projects, whether if they are sustainable in the long run, if they do have utilities already ready or planned utilities which make them very interesting to hold as a long-term investment. So this is also a main point. We do only want to invest long-term. We do not want to actively trade in the fund. We want our investments, of course, to stay healthy. So we are helping, yeah, in the form we can help. Um, the investments themselves, they get dollar cost averaged over time until a certain wallet size, which we say, okay, we are comfortable with this size in the fund, and then we can start on the next addition in the fund itself and start dollar cost averaging into this investment as well. Um, Once the vetting process is done and we say, okay, we as a team, we do actually like the project, we like the goals, we like the long-term potential, and we do like the team, and we consider it safe. Of course, we cannot be 100% sure in the crypto space. You will never be 100% sure. But I would say with the whole vetting process, we are taking out a lot of risk from the investment itself. Um, the actual investment will be chosen or is chosen by the community. So we are putting them up for a vote. So let's say, for example, if we wanted to add new investments into the fund, we would put up, for example, 3 options, and the community can choose either one of the options, which will then be added to the fund itself. Right now, we are working on the whole voting system to implement it in our DApp, so we can make sure that only banks holders can actually vote for the project, and the voting power will be calculated by the banks you are holding. It's the same logic underlying as for the BUSD rewards. The more tokens you are holding, the more voting power you will receive. The yield generated by the fund will then be, in parts, be distributed to our holders as an additional passive income source. So this is a very unique utility. Of course, there are a lot of projects setting up funds and stuff like this, but not with this intention behind the fund, not with this investment strategy in the fund itself, and also not with this kind of distribution, which we will take a look in a second. The distribution, so this is the early distribution of the fund. This will change over time. This is a process which is constantly being worked on. The early distribution is looking as right now we are aiming for about 10% used for ICOs. It's pretty clear ICOs do have the most potential, especially if you're holding them long term. But additionally, they have the most risk coming with them. The team could be great, the project itself could be great, but still there is a lot bigger risk to invest pretty early in the token itself. 20% will be used for staking, pretty straightforward. 30% are used for investments in other reward tokens. There it is only important that a actual reward is generated. It doesn't matter if the reflection is happening in the token itself, or if the reflection is coming in, let's say, for example, BUSD, or for example in BNB. This doesn't matter at all. 40% right here are marked as cash. Cash is just a financial term we use in the financial sector for a reserve in the fund. We do need this early on. Right now, we did dollar cost average most of our reserve into the projects we are holding, only for the reason because the overall market was dipping, and it was a great opportunity to use the funds we have and to dollar cost average them into the different projects. Additionally, we want to build a reserve for other additions which will come into this whole ecosystem. Let's say, for example, yield farming or something like this. There are some very promising projects, including NFTs, which generate passive income. So these are the things we are looking for. Um, this will change, of course. In the later stages of the fund, the whole cash reserve we want to aim for should be around 5 to 10%, especially with the actual fund growing in size, because we want most of the money being active money. Um, Smart money, we would call it in the financial sector. So, not the kind of money which is just sitting around doing nothing. This is not what we are looking for. I will go over the actual investments in a second because we were able to implement them and to show them in our dashboard. We will take a look later. Now I will just hop in the distribution process itself. So in the future, of course, this is important. This is work in progress. The fund does need a decent size, yeah, to actually generate a big chunk of yield, which will then be distributed to our holders. Once we are able to distribute the yield itself, we will use 75% generated and distribute it to the actual holders. 25% will be used for marketing slash charity. Um, be aware that marketing right here does also include um, compounding into the fund itself. A very important part right here because compounding, if we do not need any additional marketing funds, yeah, and we are able to compound into the fund, we will be able to grow it even faster in size. The charity part, so for the charity part, of course, once the project is running well, we want to, yeah, give back to the people which haven't been that fortunate in life. Um, this is a sustainable way of donating to charity, since we do not want, as a project team, as we said already in the daily AMAs, there's nothing bad about reward tokens, but we do not want to take active money out of the project. So giving a giving out a donation from the actual yield generated by our investments is a very sustainable way also of donating. Um, for the charity part itself, of course, the community will vote on the charities used. One second, I got pinged here. How you are planning to diversify the investments over? How are you planning to manage the risk during the time like now where the market is in red? Um, you have to take or you have to appreciate the fact that we are going for long-term investments. Um, this time right now when the market is in red, of course, it it literally sucks to see that your portfolio is, for example, 20% down, 30% down. But people do need to actually understand, especially for a fund which will have in the future a decent size and some bigger amounts of money which can be invested in the projects themselves. Um, this time right now is the time to actually invest if you aim to invest long term. Um, this market situation is the best time to dollar cost average into the actual investments you want to hold. That's the biggest mistake which I can watch on the whole crypto market. If the overall market is green, the projects are running great, they are doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% in gains, then people think, oh, it's like they think they are missing out on something. Then they will start to invest. Most of them are investing um, in one go. Yeah, they are not dollar cost averaging their investments to take out the risk, the overall risk. And they will start to chuck in all the money at a pretty high price already. So this times in the market. This is what the whole reserve. So let me jump back a second, where this cash reserve kicks in. That's why we want to keep this reserve for especially this market situations. Yeah. Because especially, or for example, if you're taking a look at reward tokens, um, also in dips, they are generating a lot of volume with the actual dip occurring, and they are generating a lot of passive income due to the volume appearing with a red market. Um, and we have the chance to additionally reinvest, yeah, to even grow the wallet size of the fund itself um, at a very low price. Of course, it's not nice to see your portfolio down, 20, 30%. But this is also, it's part of the whole crypto game. If people do not want to have such a big volatility, they should stick to shares. Some people are even not strong enough from the psychological part to maintain a well-managed share portfolio. So this is like you have to work against the whole market. If people are actually selling, if a lot of people are selling, if there is a lot of fear in the market, this is the perfect time for you to invest in. Of course, you have to be patient. You have to wait for these situations, but they will come. They will definitely come. They will always come. It's as I saw here from James, up and down. It is a part of the whole process. And with the whole dollar cost averaging strategy, which is, by the way, a very traditional way of investing in the financial sector, you are bringing your risk way down because you are um, reducing the overall price you've bought the tokens in. Yeah, that's also the reason why we do not want to invest in one big chunk. Yeah, like for example, $30,000 into a very new project at once. Yeah, this indeed is very, very risky. But yes, I hope I could answer your question regarding the whole risk management in the portfolio in the long run. That's why we are in the long run. Um, no active trading here, no risk of missing the highs or lows. Just dollar cost average your investments, and you will see in the long-term process, you will have great results. Especially if you're looking at the overall crypto market a few years ago, with the exposure it is getting, um, yeah, a very good strategy to invest actually. Um, you say other payments about to hit again? I don't know. We can take a look in a second. Might be because the threshold is very low. So you don't have to be afraid of a very, very big contract sell. The strategy right now is to have more contract sells over the course of the time, but with a lower overall sell. All right. So we did talk about the actual yield distribution. Are there additional questions? I will just skip through. I can't see any raised hands. As I said before, if you have a additional question, just ping me in the chat. Just be sure, this, yeah, this way we are taking, our token is a long-term investment. It is, yeah, aiming to reward the actual holders with the BUSD rewards themselves, and additionally with the main utility, our Bankers Whale Fund. There will be more additions to the whole ecosystem in the future, of course. Um, but we need some time to actually develop them. We cannot just in like, let's say, how long are we open in the market? 40 days. We cannot just pounds in one utility after the other. The main focus is, of course, on the fund itself. So we started actively investing into the fund 1 week ago. Yeah, so it is a very, very early project. Um, but you need to keep in mind the actual potential of the project. With the fund growing every single day, every single week, the fund is growing in size, bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, of course, it will be on a yeah, in a size in which we are able to distribute a big part of passive income regularly, completely independent of the token itself. So it doesn't matter if our token has zero trade volume, we will still be able to actively distribute passive income to our holders. And it additionally doesn't matter what our token itself is doing. Yeah, if it is going on a whole roller coaster ride, completely volatile, up and down and up and down, it doesn't matter for the holders themselves because they are generating passive income. For your own investment, especially now I'm talking to the new investors or maybe potential investors, um, I would always advise to do so. Dollar cost average your investments in. Don't just go all in on one project. Yeah, this is a very, very risky move. Also for our project, if you are interested, just dollar cost average in, attend some AMAs. So we have AMAs daily. Learn about the project, learn some things about the team, how we are working. We are working very close with our community, and also, yeah, just try to be part of our community because it's a very nice community we've been building so far. We do love to work with our community, and yeah, just a lot of long-term potential. But this is what people need to realize. Of course, there will always be the swing traders just looking for a quick flip. Nothing wrong about this one. There are people which are actively or which are living of active trading. Yeah, so nothing bad about this one. Just keep in mind this is a long-term project. A lot is to come in the future. And yeah, we are definitely going towards the right direction right now. So, because now we have the ability to show it to you. So just for also for the new people, if you join our website, you can actually take a look at our dep. Yeah. Um, it takes some time, especially since now we've implemented the whole fund. We're actually 99% to the next payday, which is very nice. Um, it takes some time to load all the data. Yeah. We are working on this in the background, but right now we have been implementing. So here on the top, you can see you can choose the different things to take a look on. Right here, you are able to just enter your wallet address. Will be able to see the total amount earned in BUSD. You will see if there are still BUSD, yeah, open for claiming or yeah, still waiting for the actual distribution, and you will see the total amount distributed so far. Um, you can also switch right here. We have a calculator going, so you can put in, let's say, for example, if you're dollar cost averaging into our project, you are able to, yeah, put in a dream wallet size or the goal wallet size you want to achieve, and then you can play around with daily volume, the market cap itself, and you will be able to see different reflections right here. And you can actually learn how the reflections or what parts are actually affecting your reflections you're receiving from the BUSD rewards. You're able to connect yourself here. This is just an APY to Poocoin, just a direct connection, providing yeah, another way of buying our token or trading our token. Now there comes the very interesting part. As I said before, just give it a little bit of time. It needs to fetch all the data, and we have been able to actually display the amount of tokens we are holding, in which project we are holding. Right now, you cannot see the staked portion of our fund. So for our Moon investment, we do have, yeah, almost everything of it staked at the moment. For EarnHub, additionally, we do have also some parts staked right now. There are also not the BNB showing up in the fund. I think we're still working to get them to show up here. Just take some time. So these are the actual investments going on. First one was Moonrock, which is a pretty fresh project out on the market. Also a DeFi project. They are granting reflections in their own token. So once we reach our wallet size, we will then use the reflections on their own token, which we will sell over time and then distribute to our holders. For the Moon Rock token, if you have been able to secure a top 500 spot, um, you have been qualified for, I think it's happening every Friday, a 2000 Moonrock airdrop to every top 500 holder, which was making the investment actually pretty interesting for us. This is going on, I think, for the next 4 weeks, so just additional free compounding, which Moonrock is granting us there. And additionally, they have been stealth launching their next project and addition to their ecosystem. I think it was yesterday. Not entirely sure. And you will receive a one-to-one airdrop, which is vested over the period of 10 months. And also, you needed to qualify yourself with being in the top 500 space. With this, they want to make sure that actual holders, long-term holders, are receiving the airdrops. So over the course of the next 10 months, they are taking snapshots at different times and then will airdrop the actual, I think it's called Meme Chain Capital. So they are setting up another fund themselves with Moonrock functioning as some sort of mother fund in this project. So basically, we are getting two investments here for free. We do have a goal wallet size. Right now, we have been setting this goal wallet size for Moonrock itself at 1 million. Once we reach 1 million, we will then rather add the next investment into our fund. And then with growing size, of course, we can go for other wallet sizes. But for the moment, of course, um, yeah, setting goals and then working on them step by step and using good entry points in the different projects. Next to investments have been Evergrow Coin and EarnHub token. Most people which are a part of the crypto space should know them. Evergrow Coin also reflecting in BUSD. Of course, it is harder to obtain bigger wallet sizes in projects as, for example, Evergrow Coin. But with the fund growing, you will have a lot more capital ready to actually invest. And this gives us as a community fund the possibility to also reach a decent wallet size in Evergrow Coin. Especially interesting about Evergrow Coin has been for us that they are launching a lot of utilities with the start of the year. So very very nice long-term hold you could have with Evergrow Coin. EarnHub, they are granting any flag contract, so you can basically reflect in any token. You can adjust this on their actual dashboard. Right now we are reflecting in EarnHub tokens themselves just to have a little bit of compounding going on. And additionally, some part of it was staked. So the early investment into EarnHub was staked. And also building there on the wallet size for the people holding EarnHub, we have been whitelisting their AnyFlag contract. So you are able to reflect banks tax-free. The AnyFlag contract is able to buy the token tax-free, which makes it very interesting for the whole reflection process. The newest edition was Moon. Moon is a ICO. They had a little bit of issues with the first launch. They ran into a contract issue. Nothing bad about contract issues. Yeah, they happen in this space a lot of times, especially in or yeah, most likely in ICOs. So if you have been investing in different ICOs, you are aware this happens sometimes. Contract issues. Nothing bad about it. They have been launching their V2 version um, yesterday. I think it was yesterday. The nice thing there was they have the staking utility ready right with launch. They have been granting nice APYs for the whole staking process. And yeah, we have been able to get our hands there on private sale prices and additionally on a pre-sale price. And then we did further dollar cost average right after launch because it is normal for a V2 launch, for a relaunch of a token, if they ran into contract issues, that the price um, will drop at the start. So there we have been able to, yeah, get a very, very good price in the ICO. And now, of course, we will watch. We will keep on watching the whole Moon investment. There's also a wallet size, but we should reach our goal wallet size in Moon rather fast because, as we said before, this is an ICO and it is a lot easier to obtain big wallet sizes in ICOs than it is in very big projects already. Okay, 1 second, because I cannot check 100 messages in the chat. Uh, Dale, what? Where have you been taking? I think it needs to be raised. Oh, alright, okay. So someone was selling off. Now then we will raise it. No problem with this one. Um, Contracts so twice in 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, of course, with a decreasing market cap, you have also to adjust the actual contract cell according to it. We will adjust it right later. Yes, Dale, I saw it. I saw it. Um, just let me finish this really quick, and then we will adjust it right afterwards. Um, yes, this for the ongoing investments we have. Mm, of course, new additions will come. We are vetting. No, I don't hate you, Dale. We are vetting projects constantly, looking for new additions um, to make into our investment fund. Just keep in mind, we just started last week to actually invest into the fund. So yes, still a lot of work to do right here. Are there no questions regarding the token, the main goal of the token, um, or anything else? I can't see a raised hand right now. And I can't see someone tagging me anywhere. Just tag me again on a question if I missed it, because there have been, uh, yeah, more than 100 messages. So pretty hard for me to follow up in the chat. But yes, this for the main utility. Of course, a very long-term process to actually invest into the different projects to get the money and to actually invest it then. But a very rewarding way we are going here, a very unique way of creating income. And yeah, we will see how things are evolving and how fast we are able to distribute yield. Of course, this also depends on our volume created. So the more volume we are creating in the token itself, the more money we have ready for the fund investments. Yeah. So the more volume we generate, the more we will be able to actually put into the fund and grow. Okay, now I'm just scrolling through the chat again, taking a look. Okay, I can't see an additional here. A very maybe a bit funny one. Your team seems to be super active in this group, and we are also seeing great progress in this project. So the question is, who is working behind? Yeah, we are. I mean, it's um, nice that you acknowledge us being very active in the chat and also the progress we are making. Yes, a lot of work is being put into um, the project. And of course, we are also allocating a lot of time and we are dedicating a lot into this project. Um, of course, we are working with other people as well as, for example, other devs, which just make us progress faster. We do actually have the marketing agency, which is working with us and helping us, yeah, with the whole marketing process. Um, yes, of course, a lot is done through connections with it built up, but most of the things, yeah, are done from the core team and also, of course, from the whole mods, from the community itself. Community is putting in a lot of effort themselves into the project, um, which we do appreciate a lot because you cannot grow as a project without a yeah good community, without a very stable community. Just be aware we came from a 80k-ish market cap after the pre-sale. We have been a very low cap pre-sale, and the community did a very big part in the recent growth we had, especially in the red market right now. Um, in the dip of the market, you have to fight against your BNB pairing, which is dragging you down, and still we have been able to get a lot of growth recently. Okay, is there another questions? Yes, yes, a lot of work put into this. Um, okay, just scrolling again, can see a hand up. Um, yeah, if you're interested, if you happen to have any questions later on, just always feel free to ask. Um, there are no bad questions. Um, we have because we see in some other projects a very low tolerance until a question is called foot. Um, of course, if you do have a question which could lead to people heating up in the chat, just yeah, ask us in a DM. You will see once we have the time to actually do it, we will take a look at it and then try to answer it as best or as good as we can. Otherwise, yeah, I can't think of another. No more question I have from. Oh, yes, there is one more question. Um, I just saw it in the chat before. Um, the KYC. We have done the KYC before the actual pre-sale. So here is the certificate. There is no NFT which we received for the certificate. Interfi has done the KYC with us. So basically, what we have done as a project, um, we did give our passport and we did actually yeah verify as the as actual persons, as it's kind of a doxing process. Interfi keeps this information, and if we happen to be a scam project, they will release the yeah private information. Um, this is just a step you do usually to add more confidence, especially for the early investors. Jose as almost to payday again was lowering the threshold a benefit. Yes, you need to lower the threshold once you are reaching or gaining in market cap. Just think of it, the initial threshold when we launched was 6 trillion. Imagine having now a 6 trillion sell by the contract um, once it collected 6 trillion. You need to adjust it down, of course. If it is getting volatile, you will need to readjust the threshold just to have a balanced um, yeah, overall thing. No, the contract is selling 400 billion. As I said before, it will appear since a actual sell is triggering the contract. If someone is selling a bigger chunk at once and triggering the contract with it, it will appear as a four sells in a row. The fourth sell is always the actual sell which triggered the contract. No, Eddie. As I said, right now, this contract is selling 400 billion, and it only triggers if someone is selling. Yes, right now, yeah, right there, you can see it in the screenshot in the chat. You can see there was a 15 BNB sell. So someone decided to sell 15 BNB, and the three cells down there you see are the actual contract cell. So the biggest thing which came, into this one happening, into this bigger dip was the 15 BNB cell um, of a actual, not holder anymore, but of a person. This is what you see right there. The sell of 15 BNB triggering the contract, and the contract actually sold 2.79 plus the 0.176 plus the 2.13, which you can add on the left side in the amount of tokens, which should add up to roughly 400 billion tokens, which then is able to or ready to trigger. This is what you see right there. It's not a contract selling 15 BNB, that's what I'm trying to say. It is someone selling 15 BNB and then the contract triggering for the contract sell. This is what you see there. I hope you could understand it. Yeah, don't worry about it, Milantus. No need to say sorry. It is quite complicated to see only from Dextools how the actual contract is working. But this is also why we needed to adjust the actual contract cell down, because of course now we should go for a higher threshold again, which we will do later on. But now imagine you would have a contract actually selling, for example, um, let's say 3 trillion tokens at once, or keep it at 2 trillion, which is easier to calculate. You would have someone selling 15 BNB, which will trigger the contract sell, and then the contract will sell of 2 trillion, which would then be around uh, 20 BNB additionally on top of the 15 BNB sell, which would lead to a very big dip. Yeah, so this is why we say we need to find the right balance. With around 3 million market cap, 400 billion was working out just fine. With now, I think I saw the actual sell brought us down to 2 point somewhat million. Then you of course need to readjust the contract a bit, so it is not constantly selling. Yeah, so now right now we should readjust to around 6 to 700 billion. Um, hope I could explain it to you how the actual contract was it's actually a very good screenshot um, to just tell you how the actual contract works. All right. Are there additional questions for the contract itself, for the project, for the team? Dale at Paul Buka. Uh, yes. Tell everyone to hit up those Reddit posts. Yes, if you do have the time. Dale is doing a lot of Reddit posts right now. Of course, it helps a lot just to upvote, leave a maybe nice comment there. If you have the time, um, highly appreciate it if you do so because it's basically free exposure done by the community itself. And yes, once contract sells, how does it buy back in smaller buys or all at once? Um, do you mean the buyback and burn wallet? This is the buyback and burn wallet is a manual wallet. So it is actually collecting BNB in this wallet, and then we are able to make a buyback. I hope this was the answer to your question. Otherwise, just write again. Okay, I'll just wait a second for people typing. Wish I had. And when does this buyback happen? Once contract sells? No, no, it's a manual buyback. So we could, yeah, just collect the BNBs in there. Um, we won't announce any buybacks happening, um, because yeah, we want to avoid swing traders and stuff like this. Um, but yes, manual buyback, not done by the contract itself. The whole other process is done by the contract, the whole BUSD rewards and stuff like this, everything is done by the contract itself. "10 years LP locked by pink sale." Yes, you can see the lock right there. Um, you only have the option when you start a pink sale pre-sale to lock the liquidity through them. You can only adjust the time of the lock itself. Nothing else can be adjusted by the actual creators of the launchpad. You can only adjust the liquidity, and we did choose to take 10 years just to give more confidence to the people. And no, no one, of course, has access to the LP with an actual lock from Pink Lock. You can see, Mowgli, the Rose answer to Dale writing liquidity pool. This link will take you to Pink Sale, which has had our actual pre-sale, and you can see the um, lock there on the link. All right. Nothing, no hand raised. What is the progress on CMC Untracked? The agency which is doing this for us is actually right now, yeah, talking to them. We do not have any influence of the on the untracked status. It might take some time, it might not. Yeah, doesn't hold us back. Um, badly, yeah, not bad. Thanks. Grüße, ja, Grüße zurück, Mowgli, aus Deutschland. Okay. Are there any more questions for the project, the team, anything? Also for the fund? I have one. Yes, Dale. Tell me. Why is your screen? It is a white screen. um, if it bothers you, just let me know. I can make um, the screen share from another screen, which is should be a better size for the people to take a look at. Yeah, it just helps me to see more. All right, Mr. D. Yeah, yeah. This is just it. it will always happen, yeah, with people taking some profits after, especially after a run as we had. Just keep in mind our run did come from around 150,000 um, to around, what was the max? I think we did scratch the 4 million or we did hit the 4 million. I'm not entirely sure. So it was a pretty big runner up. There will always be people taking the profit, and nothing bad about this at all. Yeah, this is just a floor finding process. Um, yes. Ah, okay. We did hit 4 mil MC. Yeah, okay. Perfect. I brought in what? I brought in 10 people from the office, I think. Okay. It is a nice one. Maybe maybe we can compensate you somehow because you brought the 10 people. Okay. When is Bankers gonna start loaning money? Once we actually once we reach a decent size with the fund, we are also looking in the whole lending thing. Just be aware you do need um, yeah, some decent amounts of money to generate good returns there. But yes, definitely looking into this thing. That's why I said this early distribution we have with the fund itself um, is just the early distribution. Yeah, there will be more additions, as for example, yield farming, lending in the future, but we cannot do everything at once. Yeah, we need to go step by step. Right now, we had been listed on CoinGecko a few days ago. Now we will or are listed on CMC already. It is just untracked for the moment, which we are currently working on to get this listing as tracking. And yes, basically, this for the whole process. Compensate with a pre Yeah, would be a good compensation. Additionally, Swiss isn't that far away. All right. Just taking a look at the chat again, if there is a raised hand, um, because we are clearly getting to the end of the AMA, because as I said before, we have a meeting later, or yeah, in a few minutes. That's why we need to cut off the AMA today, sadly, to 1 hour. Um, while you're at it, tell everyone to hit like at posts you want the community to do and retweet. Yes, yes. As I said before, if you happen to have the time, just for example, like and retweet a post we are dropping in here from our um, official Twitter account. Um, take part in some of the actual Reddit posts. They do help a lot, even if you, some people do not want to believe it, but this stuff does help a lot, yeah, especially with organic growth and everything like this. It helps a lot for the community to actually engaging in Twitter posts and Reddit posts and all this stuff. Okay. Scrolling again, I can't see a raised hand. Somehow no one wants to talk to me today. um, okay, um, as usual, very nice to have you all on the AMA. Great to have you in the, yeah, participating in AMAs. I hope I could clarify some questions for potential new investors. Just keep in mind a very long-term project. And yeah, constantly doing progress. As you could see, um, we are working a lot behind the scenes. Wait, sorry, maybe missed a part. What about listing? We have contacts like to L-Bank. Right now, we are not looking actively for an exchange listing. The agency we are working with does have actual contacts to a lot of different exchanges. and yeah, most likely we will do it through them. Weekly growth announcement tomorrow. Oh yes, yes, exactly. So we do have every Friday. Dale will have a weekly growth announcement in which he will, yeah, just show the growth we had on, for example, the Twitter account, on our holders, on everything. You will see we had a lot of growth happening in 1 week. Um, so yeah, be sure to see it tomorrow, which shows that we are on the right path. Um, this is what we are aiming for, organic growth, and yeah, we think it's the healthiest way to grow over time, especially in the long run. How does what? How does the marketing team that helped Moonrock blow up plan on helping us out? They are helping us out constantly. Um, it just takes some time for marketing to kick in. Do not expect for marketing to just release a marketing campaign and to have, yeah, a instant pump of the token. Just keep in mind, actual investors um, are taking their time to do their own research, to do their due diligence, which is very important for a investment, especially for a long-term investment. For marketing, it is a process over time. So um, this is very important to understand. There is, yeah, most likely no marketing in which you will have instant results with a lot of, well, how would you call it, long-term holders joining in. Most people which instantly jump onto marketing moves will be most likely swing traders. As I said before, nothing bad about swing trading at all, yeah. But if you want to achieve growth over time, organic growth, and want to grow a yeah, very healthy community, and a community which definitely knows what they have been investing in and what the goals of this project are. It takes some time. Yeah, definitely. Just keep in mind the marketing agency hasn't been doing that bad of a job with their help, and with the help, of course, of the community and everything, with the plans we have been doing with them. We did go from, yeah, 80K start pre-sale to in the top we had a 4 million all-time high, which is a very, very big growth we had. So it takes time for marketing. It takes time to spread the word out about BankersDream. This is nothing which will happen in just 1 day or 2 days. And yes, see, the contract sale didn't impact too much. It was just the guy selling. Yes, exactly, Jake. Still, we need to adjust the contract sale a little bit upwards right now, because otherwise it would just appear way too often. Um, but yes, definitely this is what I tried to say with the actual contract sell. If there is a person which does sell a lot um, at once and triggers the contract with it, it appears as if the contract was selling off huge amounts, which we do not have right now. Yeah, we do have reasonable amounts for the contract sell, not as before. Before we had, I think it was 1 trillion when we have been sitting at a 3.5 million market cap, and the contract sell did bring us down to, I think it was 2.7 billion. So yeah, just be aware of this one. Okay, um, but definitely need to cut this off sadly right now because we have a meeting starting soon. Just be aware um, to ask any questions which strike your mind, or attend the next AMA with your question and just ask it there, and we will be happy to answer it to you. Otherwise, I would say thank you for participating and have Yeah, have a good day and thank you. Bye bye.